What's up, you guys? Here we are back again with another interview on Hip Hop Battles HHB, and we have a very special guest. He has over 100 battles. It's amazing. Also, he has battled on many platforms like GTX, Grind Time, of course, Don't Flop, Base Mentality, KOTD, and many others. We have in the house Jonny Storm. What's up, my man? How's everything
Hey,
going on?
man. Chilling. What's that?
Everything
Not
okay
playing, bro.
with me? So it's an honor to have you here, man. So thank you very much for accepting this invitation, and it's a pleasure.
Salute, brother. Thank you for having me for real. I
Yes.
definitely love what you've been doing and everything. So I had to jump on and show my support for real.
Thank you very much, my man. So let's go right into it. And the very first question I want to ask you is not a question, but I want you to tell us and tell the audience about yourself. So, for instance, what was your very first contact with hip hop in your life?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
uh, my very first contact, I would, and in my life, then I'm gonna say when I'm a kid, and living in Providence, Rhode Island. That's New England. You know what I'm saying? In the East Coast, listening to the radio, you know what I'm saying, and hearing Biggie and Juicy and Ice Cube. Today was a good day. Those are some of the first songs, Tribe Called Quest, that I like learned by heart.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that was my first like experience with hip hop, and then after that, I got into the breaking and the rapping and everything.
Great. And did you have any other relationship with the other elements like graffiti, for instance, breakdance, DJs?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, as soon as I heard of rapping, I want to say like within the year, breaking was everywhere. So we were breaking. I was breaking a lot.
Hmm.
Following Rocksteady crew style elements, buying the tapes at the stores, cardboard on the street, battling everywhere. And then I got into rapping more after breakdancing.
Wow. And what about battle rap itself? For instance, when was your first contact with battle rap, and how did you enter this realm?
My first experience battling, I was still living up north. I remember it very well. You know what I'm saying? I was 13 or 14, and we were breaking at a library. You know what I'm saying? We had like a free little thing downstairs so we could meet at the library breakdance. So when we got there to the spot, it was just me and my boy. And then this other crew, a b-boy crew, got off of the city bus, and there were like 30 of them. And they all got off the bus, and they're like, yo, we want to battle. So, they came out and just started battling us, and they surrounded us. They're killing us, because there's way more of them.
Hmm.
So after they killed us breaking, they were like, and we'll kill you on the mic too. And then we were like, oh, what? And then, I could rap a little bit back then, like freestyling. I might have wrote like 2 rhymes. So then, I started battling the guy, and that guy killed me so bad. Uh, I didn't even, what I'm saying, never experienced nothing like that. And then ever since then, I just started taking it serious.
Wow. And how long was from that experience to your first like big battle on a very big platform? How long did it take you?
I mean, from that moment,
Yeah.
that was just like my first taste of battling. When I moved to Florida, that's when I got into
Hmm.
real freestyle battling, and we would just go every week to, different events, to the club. I'll sneak in, to this one university, UCF. They had a weekly battle. I'll enter every week, and then eventually grind time started with direct, and he knew about me because I was always freestyle battling everywhere, and I was winning all the tournaments, the Red Bull, all that shit.
Hmm.
So he called me up because Red Bull started in English. I don't know if you remember that in the freestyle battles, but anyways, so he saw me, and then he hit me up and said if I wanted to try the written battle on grind time, and then that's when I tried it for the first time, and it ended up being the first battle for him that got on World Star and made 100,000 views. It never happened like that before, so it went viral, and
Mm.
after that, it blew up.
And that was in 2008, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah, 2008. That's when it happened.
Yeah, exactly. And well, let me ask you about that as well, because I don't know if you are aware of this, because in Spanish speaking countries, the most popular thing has been freestyle, only freestyle.
Yeah.
And then, right now, a few months ago, I would say 1 year ago, written battles have become something very, very important. But besides Mexico scene, because in Mexico they have it for so long, at
Right.
least 10 years now. But right now we are living this like sort of transition from freestyle to written battles, battle rap. So can you
Mhm.
tell us about that in English? What happened? How this transition went on from freestyle to written battles?
Uh, I know, in English it started. We had like I said, the Red Bulls, the Scribble Jams,
Yeah,
all that stuff, and then the WRCs they did 2-on-2s and they stopped using beats, but they were still freestyling. And then when they started doing the written ones, it was kind of like they didn't want people to have no more filler or no more whack bars in between. Everything they wanted it perfect, so they're like, hey, try out the written stuff because now you don't have to you can just come up with stuff. It was hard for a lot of us. Like even when I did my first few written battles, I was just premeditating a few things, but I
mm,
didn't want to write it down because I wasn't used to it for battling. But
exactly.
it ended up getting more views, more attention than the freestyle battles, and that's why the freestyle battles died off in English because the written ones were just way more popular.
Mm.
It was not even the same no more after that. So it's kind of funny because I've been watching the ones in Spanish, and you're right, they are at their freestyle level right now, where if a person was freestyling too good, they hit them with the "oh, it's written," you know what I'm saying, and shit like
Exactly.
that. Like
you
like
know.
it's still very important. But we were on that maybe 10 years ago or so. So
Yeah.
we're seeing them now get into the written. So you're right. It's like it's really cool to see it how it's happening.
Yeah, exactly. And it happened in many other countries as well. For instance, in Russia and, well, in Portuguese, in Angola and Portugal, they have a lot of written battles as well. And it happened there as well. So it's not just in the English language and, well, right now in the Spanish language. And I would like to ask you something else, because you are like a legend for sure on grind time at that time. So, and it's not your very last event, but the one against your battle against Cali Smooth,
Mm-hmm.
that also was the very first interview that I had on my channel with Cali. That was your 100 battle,
Yeah.
wasn't it? Yeah. So how the game has changed from that time in grind on grind time to this time all in Battle of the Bay, for instance, with GTX.
Oh man, back then it was so new, so you could get away with a lot of stuff. You could hit them with all the racist jokes or gay
Hmm.
jokes or anything that people would be like more self-conscious about now, and you
Hmm.
might get canceled. Back then it was so new, it was stand-up comedy, so they like to laugh, they like to enjoy it, whereas now you're writing material to be very intricate. They don't care about the crowd. They're like, you'll catch it on camera later. I'm gonna make a hardest complex bar, and everybody's just trying to punch a lot. So
Hmm.
the skill is way better now, but the entertainment value went from trying to be witty and funny and just entertaining, and now it's like they're really trying to just kill you.
Exactly. And also, that's interesting, man. But also, I wanted to know something else, because for, well, in the Spanish speaking countries to have like 100 written battles, that's nuts, man. So it's a lot. So I wanted to ask you about your creative process. How do you write a battle? How long does it take you from scratch?
I mean, for me, it's real easy because I'm used to the freestyle era. So when I write, I usually just think of bars, like I was freestyle battling, and if I like it, I'll just save it in my head or
Hmm.
save it in my phone now, and then I'll just keep doing that. Voice memos, write it down for like a week straight, and then by the end of the week, I might have like 100, 200 bars, and it's probably too much. So then I gotta, shorten it and put it into rounds afterwards. So my
Exactly.
writing process is really fast. It don't take me long at all. As long as I have like a week, I can prepare. There's a lot of guys that need a month. They need to sit there, they need to write, they need to put it together a
Hmm.
different way. Some people write their whole round. I usually just put all the little pieces out, and then when I'm done and I feel like I have enough in my head, I'll go back to it and then put it into rounds.
Hmm.
So, real fast though for me. Some people I know it's different, but yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, that will serve a lot of battle cats in Spanish as well. In fact, I have some questions from cats that I'm going to ask you later. But
All
I
right.
want to ask you a little bit more about that. How do you do it with memorizing every single round?
Oh man, see, that's a easy, luckily.
Hmm.
And that's a different thing though. In the freestyle, it's no pressure. You know what I'm saying? You
Hmm.
don't gotta memorize. Usually there's a beat, so you just can rely on your flow and you're going. But when you have it written down, you don't want to forget because you wrote something so good. So if you did forget it, you don't want to just freestyle. You kind of freestyle a little bit, trying to remember what you wrote because you don't want to just let it go. It's like one take and it's got to be perfect.
Exactly.
So like, it's for me to memorize, it's just like a song.
Hmm.
And if you got a song, you play it over a million times in your head, it's gonna be your favorite song. For me, that's how I remember battles. The problem is if I have too much time, like I said, like if I have a month,
Hmm.
I'll hear that so much, I'll start to think it sucks. You get tired of the song.
Hmm.
So you start to question yourself and shit.
Yeah.
But everybody's different.
Yeah, of course. And what are your favorite type of battles, for instance, like 3 rounds, 1 round? How many minutes
Oh,
for
three.
round?
Yeah, 3 rounds for
3 rounds?
sure. Yeah, I mean, I like 90 seconds or 2 minutes is good. It's not too long. You can get to the point, but 3 rounds I like more because you get a chance to rebuttal. You can freestyle. You can go back
Exactly.
and forth. It just feels better that way. And imagine back then there used to be like a overtime round that the crowd would pick, and then you got to have 4 rounds. So three is good.
Yeah. And let me ask you, how important this is a very, very relevant question right now for Spanish speaking countries. How important is to rebuttal some of the stuff that your opponent is saying?
Now, depending on who you're battling, I think it's very important just because it shows levels,
Mm.
especially if the guy you're battling can't do it. As soon as you do that, it like can kill their whole round if you use their best bar against them. The thing they got the most reaction, you rebuttal that one, and
Mm.
then it kills their round. But if it's a person that does it good, you want to do it because he's going to try to do it to you. So you got to show that you can freestyle and you can write. So I think rebuttaling at one point it went away and people cared about only writing, but now you see it's important. You need to have the whole package
Mm.
because everybody could do it.
Exactly. Exactly. Very good. And well, now I can hit you with one of the questions from these battle cats. There is an Argentinian battle cat. His name is Gustavo Ramos. Shout out to him. And he wanted to ask you this. One, I will say, very big difference we have in Spanish and English in terms of battle rap is that you guys put a lot of energy during your rounds. Like you are radiating a lot of energy. Like, and the question is that, like, how do you keep up with this energy the whole battle during the whole battle?
Uh, practice, man. You gotta really, and that's a good question. So
Mm.
salute to him because it's true. Before it wasn't a big deal, but if somebody had that energy and presence against you, it
It
levels show.
shows exactly.
It looks very different in person and on camera. So what I do, for example, when I'm memorizing and I already got my material, I rap while I run. I'll go running around the neighborhood rapping so that my breath control is strong. So depending if the crowd's loud or if it's a big ass crowd, because you know it could be 500 people, you got to talk over them. So I'm loud enough to be the loudest guy in the room, but still say it clear. So that's why I work on that, so my breath control is strong. So that way you do have that energy, because you know you in that mode too. You gotta really shows your competitive side. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people have that performance just because they're not gonna let you outdo them, you know. But I practice like that. Make sure I'm loud, strong. Make sure everybody, the guy in the back of the bar, can hear me. You know what I'm saying? I make sure that if you're in front of me, you're gonna feel it.
Exactly. And that's funny though, because this guy Gustavo Ramos, shout out to him, he realized by himself that practicing and memorizing his rounds, doing exercises or sports like you do, like running or lifting weights, it was it was useful in order to get that energy after using it in a real battle. So
Okay.
that's very curious that he realized that, but he was dubious about it because he didn't know how do you do it. So there you have it. Great, man.
Yeah.
And the other question from another battle cat, his name is Astropoeta. He's a Chilean battle rapper. And this is a deeper question. Since battle rap is a place, well, and it was a place, as you said, with grind time, for instance, in which you can say whatever you want and to say the most obnoxious and outrageous things that you can imagine without being censored, for instance. And against some opponents saying sometimes very aggressive and violent things. Have you received any kind of knowledge or life lessons from that?
Uh, like a life lesson from the person or from
From the
just
person or from the thing that is going on during the battle, like saying things that are very that are hurting the other person, or not hurting, but you are trying to destroy someone, and you have been there more than 100 times. So,
yeah.
have you received any of those in and to your life, like to your personal life? How did it change you?
Oh, like, let me see. For me in battle rap, I don't take it, serious.
Yeah, of course.
Uh, so you gotta have thick skin. So I don't think nothing changed my as far as my life or
Hmm.
anything like that. As far as the lessons I get from a battle, one thing I will say I changed was say in the past King of the Dot tournament for the $100,000 when they had the fans judging live and then the people judging again. It was a long time since they had judges in a battle that mattered. So I would look at the feedback of the fans and they'll say, oh, he's doing this wrong or he's doing too much of this. And I was looking at it and I was like, okay. So the next battle, I did everything and I worked on it. So in that sense, it did give me a life lesson because it allows you to get criticized and you can actually change something. Because a lot of times in a battle, they're not saying shit to help you out. They're just trying
Exactly.
to diss you. They're saying you're garbage. You could be the best. You're trash. But when I was looking at the fan comments and they're like, "Oh man, this was fire," or what they responded to, the style they liked more. That I kind of started gearing my material. Like when the judges were looking for more punchlines, I was like, "Okay, fuck the funny shit. I'm just gonna throw punchlines," and it helped out. So that's one thing I'll say. As far as what I got from it, but from a competition or from me doing research, I don't really take nothing from it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's you can't take battle serious like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. And also, let's go right into that because it is interesting what you said about the judges. What is your opinion and your position about judging a written battle?
As far as what do you mean? What's my
To have
like it?
judges, to have
Oh,
judges in a written battle.
uh, I think is good. I don't know why it changed. There was one point when bigger names started getting into battle rap
Hmm.
that they felt like they didn't want to be judged because no one was worthy enough to judge them.
Hmm.
So, like with Murder Mooks and everybody started coming back, they're like, who's going to judge that battle? I'm not going to judge his battle. He judged mine, but
Hmm.
it was a weird time. So I think if it's a battle with judges, I respect it because it makes the people try harder. It's competition. It's going to make because if not, and if there's no judges, the one thing I will say is when there's no judges, there's no pressure. So you can think outside the box. You can try more creative stuff. You can try to be funny. You can do something you never did before because it's not going to go against you.
Hmm.
So when they stopped judging battles, the creativity went up. That's when people like Daylight and everybody started. A lot of people started taking off because they changed the styles up. So there's two good things about it. It's a double-edged sword. It's good, and you don't need it. And if you do got it, it does make people more competitive.
Hmm.
So I don't care. Judges, cool.
Okay. Yeah, I asked you because in Spanish, well, if you talk about judging a written battle, um, for sure you're going to have like the whole scene against you because they don't like that. Okay, it's just because of that. But it's great to have another view because you are ahead in time in terms of battle rap, so we can see maybe what is going to be for us in the future as well. But very interesting, man. And let me ask you about something else because I wanted to ask you about this two against two. That's not very common in Spanish, and you have a few battles like with Madness and also with this guy unorthodox phrases.
Yeah.
You have a few of them. So how different is that to have a two against two?
Uh, you know, that time it was I like it. It's really fun. Probably the best battles. And those two battles were freestyle battles for me. So I know for a lot of people when they do the two on twos written, they'll write together. That's why they go in and out, finish each other's words and
Exactly.
synchronize motions. It's just like figure skating. But when we do it with an orthodox or with madness, we were just freestyling.
Hmm.
So I would just meet up with them, and then he'll be like, "You ready?" And I'll be like, "You ready?" And then he would just rap, and then when he was done, I'll just jump in. So we had good chemistry because we could freestyle,
Wow.
but it made it more fun. I think the funnest battle is two on two, just because you have two targets, you can go in and out. You think of things for two people instead of one. It made it interesting. So I definitely can see the Spanish one getting into that.
Yeah.
It'll be real fire.
Yeah, for sure. And well, I have one other question from another Chilean battle cat, and his name is Joker. Shout out to him as well. And he has a question in terms of languages, because for us, and I will say for the rest of the world as well, uh, if you rap in English, it's going to sound great, right? Because it's the mother tongue for rap. So his question is the following question is, have you heard or any MC, rap artist, or even battle rapper that sounds closer to the sound that you can get in English
Uh,
in terms
have
of
I?
as well as in English?
You mean as far as the Spanish guys?
Yeah, exactly.
To me, and this has been for a long time. I think Il Mascaras has the recipe. He has the right approach for many years. I was watching those battle leagues, like you said, in Mexico, back when they started. One time, I remember they even hit me up. It might have been him that hit me up about it, and so I started watching those battles, and they were all good back then.
Hmm.
But he had the recipe as far as it looks seasoned. He's delivery. He's got charisma. It's punches, flow. If you look at his style, that's the style that would translate the best to English because you're very clear. Like you could understand him very well. It's not too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He had a lot of good aspects. Even though there's a lot of guys I like. You guys got a lot of like Pro Dam and what's his name? Sipo. Like there's certain dudes y'all got that are very good that would translate because of their energy or just because of their flows. They're witty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their style translates good. So you could tell like some of you guys, and it's funny because from what I noticed, your better writers don't get as much love yet because they're too complex.
Hmm.
Whereas the more easy to digest guy, but that's why I like Il Mascaras because he does it in a way that it's easy to digest, but it's very entertaining. He got to me, he has the right recipe.
There you have it. Amazing. So let's go right into the next event since you are talking about Il Máscaras. But I would like to start with you and your battle against six syllables. And first of all, I would like to know who came up with this idea and how everything started to have this great event that is going to impact a lot in our community, at least the Latin community.
You know, man, the homie Epic came up with that one. He has a real good vision. He's been watching that Latino scene for a minute, like I have. We talked about it before. So even when he set up Ethos and Cali Smooth, then I remember they were trying to set me and Ethos up on GTX before that. So
Wow.
I feel like Epic when he brought that name up, you know what I'm saying? I had to look up sick because I saw a lot of guys. I didn't see many of six syllable
Hmm.
stuff. So then I was like, oh, yeah, he's fire too. You know, he had a good vision, man. He's trying to bridge that gap, transition, bring all the Latinos out. That whole card looks fire. So when he brought up that name, it was a no brainer because he knows I've been wanting to do something for a while, for
Hmm.
like years, Spanish and English or just Spanish. But you know, it just never worked out. Like I said, even when Elon Musk hit me up fucking a bunch of years ago, he hit me up and it still didn't work out. So just the timings now, and I definitely been ready. So it's gonna be good.
For sure. Now it's happening. So shout out to Epic Saga and shout out to Evolve TV as well for giving us
Yeah.
this card. And what this is for the audience, so they can know you better. What can we expect from Jonny Storm on this battle?
You know, if y'all seen me battle before, you already know what to expect. It's gonna be a good one. If you never heard of me, I'm gonna we're gonna be good. You know, just make sure that you add me on Instagram after it. But
For
you know what I'm
sure, man.
saying. Honestly, it's my first time for the Latinos, so I definitely want to show everybody. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of them never even heard me rap anything in Spanish. There's only a couple battles where I got to do that. You know, so it's gonna be fun to actually show the language, cross over, call out a couple cats that rap in Spanish that I've been checking out. You know what I'm saying? I'm familiar with y'all. I definitely watch all that stuff. So I'm definitely excited. I'm trying to approach it. Hopefully, I come across as a vet. Y'all gonna have to give me pointers after that battle because I'm not even sure how it's gonna sound.
No, but for sure, man, for sure. In fact, I think maybe you know about this because you know our scene as well. But I think the rest of them, or most of them, they don't realize how huge is this. So I was talking with Cali about it. Like now, people know Cali in Spanish-speaking countries. Cali's move. They know Cali's move and they know Disaster because of Asesino. So now they are going to know you as well and all the guys in the card. So it's huge for us. It's huge because the majority of people they don't know anything about what is has been going on in the states and in the English language. So it's huge, man. It's going to be huge. And to go right into it with another battle that we have on the same event, what can we expect from Cortez, for instance? Tell the audience, please, because Cortez is going against Denter, and we know Denter pretty well.
Yeah. You know, Cortez, veteran, again, super seasoned. Me and him had a great battle in the past. And every time I see Cortez, super professional, comes with it. And URL, he's one of the first Latinos on that. So he's done some shit in Spanish too on URL. So he knows how to play with it. I anticipate Cortez is gonna do a little bit of that too. That Spanglish, that but you just can't sleep on him, man. It's gonna be interesting because Denter, like you said, there's all those Spanish guys. I know how they rap or and they freestyle, but I haven't heard how they deliver it, especially in English.
Hmm.
So when they're gonna be in front of somebody that's used to doing it, it's going to be interesting. But the same thing with Cortez, you know, now we got to see if he can speak Spanish with the same confidence as he can speak English. And
Exactly.
I think it's going to be good. So, yeah, it's going to be fire, though. I definitely think Cortez is going to spaz. He's one of those that I've never seen him fuck up.
Yeah,
He's good.
for sure. For sure. And I forgot to ask you, it's going to be one round battle, right? All of them.
No. Three
No?
rounds for
Three
sure.
rounds. Seriously.
Yeah. No, this is
Ah,
a
okay.
battle.
Because I heard Eptos against Arsenal is going to be one round.
Oh, then yeah, that maybe that one,
Yeah.
which is cool, but nah, I think most of them are three rounders. Me and six syllables for sure, three rounds. So it's gonna be cool. Like we're gonna
Even.
try to do it, not like Disaster and Assassino, how they did like one English, one
Yeah.
Spanish, one mix. We're gonna just mix it up the whole way. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be just getting it in.
Even greater. Great, man. So we have the next one is Il Máscaras, and you already give a shout out to him against Loso. And we're going to have, we're going to have Loso and Cortez on the channel as well. So we are going to speak with them about it. But what can we expect from Loso? Tell the audience, please.
Man, Loso, veteran. You know, and he's like new, you know what I'm saying? He came in kind of newer, but seasoned since his first battle, veteran, super delivery. Loso, you're gonna expect someone very loud, very powerful in person. Like a lot of people don't realize that in person he can it's a room shaker. And he can rap, you know, he can talk Spanish easily too. He's fluent, like I'm pretty sure he's fluent like I am. So Loso is gonna, I think he's gonna impress some people for sure. Is his a three rounder?
I don't know. I don't know. I only know about Eptos and Arsenal.
And you said Loso's battling Mascara?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah.
That might be battle of the night. That might be battle of the night.
Maybe. But we have another one that is pretty good so far, but with many interrogants, because we have Juan Zarate against Danny Myers. Danny Myers is a legend, and Juan Zarate has never battled in English so far, but we know he's a beast. So what can you tell us about Danny Myers? Well, tell the audience.
I mean, Danny Myers is he arguably one of the top 5 guys right now.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? No question. Like he's another guy. His presence in person is out of this world. You know, like he says, man, God bless the guy who stands in front of those bars. Because Danny Myers is always good. He's just always good, and he battles like 4 times a month for 10 years straight.
Wow.
Danny's, he's fucking. You're gonna see one of the best, and listen, man, Danny's clever too, so I expect him to say some clever stuff in Spanish too. But yeah, he's probably his delivery is one of my favorites. Danny's one of my favorites right now. Definitely top 5 right now.
Yeah, definitely. And have you watched Juan Zarate's battles?
Oh yeah, I've watched Juan for sure. He's nice, and Juan's another one that he gets it in Spanish and English. He's one of the few that I think when he raps in Spanish, he sounds like how an American can translate the punchlines and kind of play with the words.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's very important, you know, the wordplay, because I don't think the Spanish cats all do that yet, but Juan got it down packed. He sounds seasoned for sure. And I didn't even know he never battled in English. He just sounds like an English battler in Spanish.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's going to be huge, man. And let's go with the last one. But first, I will ask you about Eptos and Cali's move. Did you watch that battle?
Yeah. Good battle.
How was it for you to hear Eptos in English?
It was great. Eptos he knew what he had to do. Eptos got a good flow too, so I respect Eptos a lot because his delivery was confident. You could tell he can speak, or he says words in English good, so he's very clear. So when he was saying like the punchlines, they hit because they get it, and he understood kind of the crowd. So I think now he's gonna do even better because his opponent kind of fits more his style to me. I think the things that Eptos says now is gonna do good.
Yeah, for sure. And what can we expect from Arsenal? Well, I know, but the audience may not.
Oh man, very disrespectful. Don't get mad at Arsenal after this battle. Don't tweet him. Don't email him.
Exactly. Great
Yo,
message. Yeah.
listen, don't take it personal. He's
Yeah.
gonna hurt feelings. He's gonna probably try to start a country war. Don't kidnap him when he comes visit your country. He's gonna piss you off. But Arsenal, hey, he's Mr. Disrespectful. He
Exactly.
is the guy that pushes the envelopes. He's one of those guys that might make you think about some life lessons
Mm.
because he's gonna talk about everything in a very bad way. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's gonna be something for sure. And man, now I would like to ask you another question from another battle cat. This is a Mexican battle cat, but he lives in the US. His name is Terrorista.
Mm.
And he has this question for you. Very easy and simple question. Would you battle in Mexico someday?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And
No question.
and totally in Spanish. Will you do it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I hoped.
There you have it. Yeah.
Yeah, if I
Yeah.
battle in
That's the
Mexico, gotta
idea.
be in Spanish, man.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Got to.
Great. Well, shout out to him as well. And like ending a little bit the interview, I would like to ask you about something that for us was a game changer, and I would like to know your view in this because for us was huge. Was disaster against Assassino. That was a game changer for the Latin community. So
Mm.
how the people in the US lived that? How did it impact
Uh,
the battle rap in English?
I'll say this for the Americans. Um, let me make sure this mic is good. All right, for the Americans, it's not the same impact um, because a lot of them weren't familiar with Assassino. I'm sure the same way a lot of Assassino's fans weren't familiar with Disaster.
Exactly. Yeah, it was the same.
So it was kind of like, oh damn, they're battling in Spanish, and they got a lot of fans too.
Mm.
Like it was something that we all knew about, but a lot of the fans did not know about. So when they saw it, it was obviously Assassino got a lot of love. You saw the crowd and everything, so fit right in. He did great. It was definitely to me it meant more for the Spanish scene because it allowed, and I just liked it more because it was disaster bringing the Spanish scene to light to
Yo.
the American scene, and I think that was just important because a lot of us rocked with it and just a lot of leagues didn't even notice it. And now after that event, even the dudes from URL were hitting me up and they were like, hey, they were trying to think about how they could get some of those guys maybe even on that platform, but they don't know how to do the matchups, because they know their battlers don't speak Spanish. So they're
Exactly.
like, damn. But you could tell that they wanted to try to work with it because they could see the potential. Like, it's a culture shifter. I think it was great, man, just to bridge the gap. And this event coming up with iEvolve TV that Epic Side just thrown with all those people, I think that one's even gonna be bigger as far as for the crossover.
For sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I also said the same thing that disaster against Assassino was something like was huge, was a game changer, but was like symbolic. This one is going to have a great impact in the Latin community and the crossover as well, for sure, no doubts. And I would like to ask you something else, but now about your battles, because as I already said, that you have more than 100 battles on YouTube. Let's put it that way, right?
Too many. Yeah, too
Yeah.
many.
So, which one are your greatest battles in your opinion? Because you have battled against Disaster, the Soros, Conceited, Bill Collector, Cortez, many others, Sharon.
Yeah.
So, what are your favorite battles? Your own favorite battles?
Uh, I like that Sharon one you mentioned because that was my first time in London, and just that whole experience. You know what I'm saying? To you get flown out to London to another country is different state to state. But when you're going all the way overseas because you're rapping and then you see that you got fans all the way over there, that was one of the good ones. You know what I'm saying? So that was cool. The disaster battle was special mostly because that paid dues event was big, man. That
Mm.
was like that crowd was like 40,000 people in total. So they was split between three stages. So we had it in that little, it was like a dome that had
Mm.
the octagon they built in there, and there was like 5,000 people in there. So when we were battling there, and then all those celebrity judges, it just made it special because it was like they were watching us battle, and then they went to perform on the big stage in front of everybody right after. So it was that was special. Uh, there were so many good ones, man. I love all the ones that I had to travel. I think all of those is
Mm.
just, because we came from the freestyle era where you battle 10 guys in one night and maybe you win a prize. And now it's like, oh, we're just going to get flown out, battle somebody. And, I think like the locksmith battle, I think that was
Mm.
epic because I always respected him and his music. So the fact that I got to battle, but there's so many, bro. Like I got the freestyle battle against Craig G
Mm.
recently at No Coast. And I don't know how familiar you are with Craig G, but that's a
Mm.
legend. So it's just, man, I don't even know too many of them, all of them.
A lot, yeah. And what do you prefer, small room or big stage with big crowd?
Oh, big stage, yeah,
Big
big
stage
crowd, man, all the time.
all the time.
The
Very good.
that's my favorite. Is no question.
Very good. And well, to finish, I will ask you about your top five. But first, I would like to ask you about your near future. What can we expect from you in the maybe the next year?
Well, I got this battle coming up. I got another battle coming up before that one.
Yeah.
Out here on Unbearable Mayhem 7. Against RK. I got a battle in Scotland. Hopefully, I think it's before the end of the year. It should be December against Mackenzie, but that's already in the works. But that'll be my first time in Scotland if that pops
Wow.
off. But yeah, man, battles for sure. I'm trying to do some music in between that, but I've been so busy.
Hmm.
It's hard to juggle them both. You know what I'm saying?
Of
So I'm
course.
gonna just soak it in, do these next few battles, and keep on putting people onto the culture. And then, hey, maybe one in Mexico.
Yeah. There you have it. Of course, that's going to happen. Of course, man. And
Yeah.
for well, this is the end of the interview, but these two more questions are very, very important for the audience. Maybe more for the audience because I do it for Spanish-speaking countries. So for them, it's very, very important to know and very relevant to know about other battle cats, other battle rappers that maybe you admire, and also about rappers and maybe groups. So the first one I'm going to ask you is your top five battle cats, but with no order, and it could be from any time. Your personal favorite five.
Oh man, personal favorite. I like that because that way I don't have to worry about the order
Exactly,
because
no
it's not
order.
about who I think's
Don't
the
worry.
best.
And I know it's
Uh,
difficult, and sometimes they put six or seven. It's okay. It's just to have more
man,
names.
personal favorite guys that I like now and all time. I like B Magic. You know what I'm saying? That goes without saying. He got one of the best flows, punches, cool dude. Big K. I think Big K is fire.
Hmm.
Super great. I like QP, Quantum Physics, one of the best writers ever. You know what I'm saying? You got to pay homage to him. He started a lot of styles, especially with Conceited. Thesaurus, just one of my favorite guys. You know what I'm saying? He's a robot. He's not even fair. and I like Twerk, man. New Jersey Twerk. I think if he's on his A game, he's probably the best right now. People like Rum Nitty. There's a lot of fire guys, but these are just personal picks that
Yep.
I like. Twerk, his energy, his creativity, everything. B Magic, Thesaurus, Big K. Who else I said? Shit. Well, I'm
QP.
pretty sure I said five.
Yeah.
QP,
Yeah.
yeah.
You said
Yeah.
five. Yeah. Great, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. And the last one, top 5, but now with rappers, or it could be groups.
Nice.
MCs,
Uh,
yeah.
I like once again personal picks. I like Big Pun, uh, Cannabis, uh, Big Pun, Cannabis. I gotta keep it real, man. I'm a Tupac fan
Hmm.
ever since I was young. I'm from the East Coast, but he had too many great songs. You know what I'm saying? That them heart wrenchers. Uh, I have to say a group then. Got to go with Helter Skelter. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Boot Camp Click, Rock and Rock,
yeah.
Sean P. One of the greatest. And then Wu Tang, man. I'm gonna throw a crew out there too. Wu Tang grew up on that all day.
There you go. Dope, dope, man. And well, that will be your last words for the audience, please, my man.
Hey man. Well, salute to you for having me, brother. You already know. Follow me on everything at Jonny Storm OS. No H in Jonny Storm. I'm gonna be out there, you know what I'm saying? Spanish, English, whatever it is, we gonna keep pushing hip hop. Like he said, it's 100 battles on YouTube, but I've probably got 100 not on YouTube. If you are starting to battle or anything, just do it for the love, man, and be yourself, and it's gonna pay off.
There you
Trust me.
go. There you go, my man. Yeah, and I will leave the links below so you can follow Jonny Storm as well in every single social media. And that will be the end for this. Thank you for accepting this interview, my man. It was great. It
Thank
was an honor to have you. And I hope to see you again maybe after the event.
you. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
You already
and
know,
stay
man. Thanks
tuned.
for having me.
Stay tuned because we have more interviews coming up in English, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and why not even in Russian. So stay tuned, man. Yeah, we have a lot of things going on. So see you in the next time. Bye bye.